Good evening, and welcome to Newsmakers. I'm Kathleen Gale. The explosion of reality television has pitted family against family, boss against employee, and overweight husbands against their overweight wives. From awkward dating moments to amateurish aspiring entertainers, it seems no facet of our culture has been left unexplored. And it's because of this that critics have said the creative and original ideas are slowly running out. Except perhaps one. Tonight, Susan Edwards takes you through part one of her four-part series, following two very different men in the middle of their own amazing race, as they seek to find a place in the ever-changing world of evangelical Christianity. Here's Susan Edwards.
He found himself the only participant in a seminar open to a church of hundreds. As people devote a typical Saturday to soccer games, barbecues, and sleeping in, Roman Evanson sits alone inside this modern evangelical church just a few miles from downtown Los Angeles, where he's just attended a 4-hour morning conference. The class, led by local evangelist Matt Johnson, is now over, and Roman scrutinizes his notes to make sure that everything he's learned today lines up with the teachings of the Bible, his divine inspiration for living a moral and religious life. But it wasn't until today, during this conference, that Roman, in his own words, had a true religious epiphany. And although he's been a church member since he was born, this life realization has taken 35 years to come to light. Do you find yourself normally drawn to church conferences?
Not usually. I've been to church events where we play basketball or we fed the homeless, but you know, actually, I don't think we've had a church conference before.
There was another event scheduled here today, right?
Yeah, the men's group was having a ping pong tournament downstairs in the basement.
So why only one person at the conference?
I guess the speaker and his topic probably weren't too popular. People just weren't interested.
Interested in what exactly?
In sharing the gospel with people who aren't Christians.
And with that admission, Roman gets to the heart of his latest passion, to bring the message of Jesus Christ to friends, family, and yes, he says even to strangers. From passing out what are commonly known as gospel tracts to preaching in the public square circa the 1800s, Roman is claimed to have finally found his life's personal mission. So it seems most people will come to hear a Sunday morning service or bring something to a potluck, yet they won't attend a class on how to share their Christian faith with others. Does that seem strange to you?
Well, I mean, it does now. I knew evangelism was something I should be involved in way before the flyers for the conference were even printed up.
And when was that?
A while back, my wife and I went to a barbecue at a friend's house when their Shih Tzu got out from a locked bedroom and fell into the pool. Without hesitation, 7 Christians jumped into that pool to save the life of one little mutt. And yet, I've never seen one member of our church, including myself, attempt to save people.
Save them? From what?
From the horror of what we believe will happen to them if they die in their sins. It was very sobering, to say the least.
So the story had a happy ending. You had your epiphany and the dog got to live another day.
Well, not exactly. Our new pastor had also brought his Rottweiler to the barbecue, and it also got out and got a hold of the Shih Tzu. Unfortunately, people did not react as quickly as they had before.
Not a very good way for a new pastor to make a first impression.
Yeah, he speaks a lot about grace from the pulpit these days.
I'd say that's an appropriate religious topic considering the circumstances.
No, I mean, Grace, the Shih Tzu. The dog's name was Grace.
So the dog did die?
Well, yeah, I mean, I hope so, because they buried him. Trust me, you don't make that same mistake 3 times.
Enter George Stockett, Roman's business partner of over 10 years. The two have been going to the same church since they were teenagers, were in each other's weddings, and now they raise families together. And if that isn't enough, they co-own Latham Mutual Life, a small insurance company in downtown Los Angeles.
Thank you, Dee Dee. Come on, Mr. Morgan. I've explained to you how insurance works after the last time. You remember?
Last time? What last time?
You got 2 cigars, you insured them for $100,000, and then you smoked them both. Mr. Morgan, you can't do that.
It's your line, George. You want me to get it?
Okay, I need to take this. We're going to talk more about this next week, all right?
I'll call early next week and set something up, Mr. Morgan.
Yeah, this is George Stockett. No, he just left. Hey, about ready to eat? Thanks. All right, I'll be there in a sec.
I had extra egg salad, so I made you and Roman a sandwich.
Excellent. Did you put light mayo on this time? I'm not 25 anymore, you know.
You're not 35 anymore either. You want to eat in the conference room or the kitchen?
You and Roman seem a bit like the 2000s version of the Odd Couple.
Yeah, well, his parents were middle-class suburbanites, you know. Very, very conservative.
Religious?
Yeah, I guess so. Mostly strict. I mean, like weird rules. To this day, the guy doesn't chew gum, doesn't take off his shoes in public, doesn't watch anything on TV other than Little House on the Prairie.
What about your parents? Were they religious?
Yeah, sure. Listen, the closest my dad ever got to religion was when he yelled at us for putting our orange juice cups on the Guidepost magazines. So, no.
You pronounce your name as George when it's spelled as Jorge. Where'd that come from?
My parents didn't want to label me with stereotypical American names, so explains why my brother's name is Algernon and my sister's name is Dorcas.
So Roman's parents were more traditional.
Yeah, I mean, my parents were good people. I'm just saying I like my life the way it is now, you know, stable. Started calling myself George in college.
You met your wife in college, right?
Yeah, I did.
She told us she didn't want to be interviewed for this project.
Listen, Lisa's a very private person when it comes to faith. She feels so strongly about it. She'd be very upset if I even told you how much she doesn't want me talking about it, okay? Now me, we can talk about me as much as you want. Hey, I'm gonna duck out of here an hour early. I'm gonna go to my chiropractor and get a sports massage today.
Sports massage? For what?
I was in that ping pong tournament yesterday, remember?
Okay.
How was your conference?
You know what? It was really good. I was thinking about asking the guy to come back up again next year. If he does, you should sign up.
Yeah, not really my thing.
What isn't? Conferences?
No, evangelism. You know, it's either something you're called to do or you're not.
Okay, but all Christians have a responsibility to share the gospel, don't you think?
Well, I think it's either a gift you have or you don't.
Oh. I guess I just don't see it as a gift to try and stop a blind man from, walking into traffic.
You think passing out a piece of paper with some Bible verses on it, that's the same as stopping a blind man in traffic?
George, have you ever really stopped to think about what happens to a person if they die in their sins?
Die in their sins? Dude, what kind of conference did you go to?
You're avoiding the question.
Well, they go to a place without God.
Yeah, okay, and where's that place?
A horrible place, weeping, gnashing of teeth.
And again, that would be...
Stockton, California.
George, if we as Christians really believe in the reality of hell, how come we are not doing whatever we can to tell our friends how to avoid it? I mean, what if Christ came back tomorrow and all of our friends are left behind?
Isn't that the job of the church, Pastor Bobby?
I know this is off topic a little bit, but at what point does a Pastor Bobby become a Pastor Robert?
Roman, it's a different generation of pastors.
You know what? Even if what you said is true about the church, it seems like all our church is about anymore are potlucks and carnivals and embracing all the latest popular cultural trends. It's ridiculous.
Aren't you exaggerating just a little bit?
6 years ago, we gave up doing communion because everyone was on the Atkins diet.
What's wrong with catering to the community? Shouldn't we be trying to make our church more attractive?
It says in Matthew, we're to go out into the world.
I've never even heard Pastor Bobby preach on evangelism.
George, and don't take this the wrong way, but do you ever read the Bible on your own?
You know what? All right, just forget it. I'm going to my chiropractor. I'm not going to be late for this.
Hey. Listen, I didn't mean to imply you didn't read your Bible. I'm just saying I don't understand why we have to rely on whoever's behind the pulpit
to interpret scripture for us.
Look, I read it sometimes. Again, isn't that the pastor's job? He reads it, passes on the knowledge to us.
You keep saying it's the pastor's job to do everything.
No, enough, Roman. Look, why are we splitting hairs on such insignificant details? I mean, it's clear that people are going to disagree over theology, but why do we have to engage in such pointless arguing?
Who's arguing? Listen, I'm just saying, if it's an amazing testament to Christ's grace and his mercy that he saves people like you and me, shouldn't we be at least...
No, you should, Roman. Look, if that's something you feel led to do, then you do it. You're not my personal Holy Spirit.
Okay, why are you getting so mad?
I'm not getting mad. Look, Okay, look. While we're here at work, let's just stop talking about our church and hell. People getting left behind, okay? Ooh, Left Behind. Gonna make me read that book too?
Okay.
You know how many times they've tried to convert me in 10 years? Arguing religion makes no sense anyway. No one has all the answers to the afterlife, unless they've come back from the dead.
Hey again. Sorry about yesterday.
Yeah, I said don't worry about it.
No, you're passionate about something and I want to be supportive. So tell me, what does an evangelist do exactly?
Well, the guy that came and spoke at the conference makes up a whole bunch of tracts that act as conversation starters.
Is that what these money things are?
Yeah, they're the celebrity $1,000 bill tracts. You have the famous person caricature there, and on the back you've got this whole gospel presentation. You know, you give it to someone and hopefully we'll start a conversation with them about spiritual things.
So who's this one, Hillary Clinton?
No, actually that's Bela Lugosi. It's from the classic celebrity pack.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, his nails are so sharp. So how many have you given out so far?
None.
None?
Yeah, it just kind of freaks me out what people are going to say when they actually figure out what it is.
Why don't you just start out easy, drop one down and run?
Yeah, maybe.
Look at you. Your forehead's breaking out in a sweat just thinking about it. Roman, you're 35 years old. You know part of being an evangelist is actually giving someone the gospel, right? Here, watch me do it.
Is there a part of that you didn't understand? Do you need me to spell it for
Here you
you? What is this?
It's a $1,000 bill. You know, it's a tract. It's got a message on the back. You can read it.
A Jesus message? Why are you giving this to me?
Well, because, I guess people who aren't Christians are missing something. Don't you ever feel like you have a large gaping hole in your life just waiting to be filled?
A large hole? Victor, this needs salt. Son, I cleared $3 million last year. I cleared $2 million the year before that. I have a large house. I have a large boat. I even have a large wife. You know those stickers on the back of teachers' cars that say, I flunked your kid at such and such high school?
Sure.
I invented those.
You're that guy?
Yeah, I'm that guy. Victor, this is diet soda. I can feel the cancer eating my liver.
All right, look, I mean, it's cool that you're rich and all, but Jesus is better than all that.
Better? How?
Yeah, well, you know, because, dude, forget it. Just read the back.
Pink lemonade, Victor? Really?
All right, you're doing the next one. Listen, I don't care who comes in. I don't care who it is. You're going to get up and give him one of those.
All right.
That guy.
Him? Think Chuck Norris ever feels like this, George?
What are you going to give him a book?
No. This is a book I got at the conference. It just gives you sample dialogue and examples of conversation. You know what? I should be okay. I've been practicing at home.
With Madeline?
No, with my Sims family.
You've been giving the gospel to a fake family on your computer?
Yeah. Why?
How did they take it?
It's been going good. I mean, you know, the gardener heckles me, and once the baby bit our cat and then threw up. But, I mean, seriously, in all fairness, he does that all the time.
Roman, focus here. What are you going to say if he talks to you?
guess I'll just use the law to shed the light on sin, the Ten Commandments.
Right. What? I mean, how? I don't get it.
George, the point of the gospel is that Jesus didn't die so people can have a better life. Telling people that makes about as much sense as somebody handing out life preservers to the people on the Titanic before they hit the iceberg. It won't make sense. It'll seem ridiculous. Jesus didn't die on the cross to make people happy or give them a better life. He died for the forgiveness of sins. End of story.
Whatever you do, you better hurry up, man. This guy's getting hot.
Come on.
What are you gonna do if he takes a swing at you?
I don't know. I mean, I'm only on chapter 3.
I didn't even get my sandwich.
Did they maybe write book 2?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Dad. How do you spell caterpillar?
Madeline and Roman have been married 12 years last May. With 3 kids, ages ranging from 2 to 10, the house is a bustle of activity. With a business and a large family, one may wonder when and if Roman will ever have time for his new project.
Look at this. What's global warming? You're going to have to ask your mom.
So your husband seems like a really busy man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But he knows he has to take care of his family, and we're very thankful and grateful that he does that, so.
And how about with all this evangelism that he's doing?
I love it. I mean, I'm glad that he's getting out there. In fact, I don't think I've seen him this passionate and excited about something in a long time.
Will you be joining him out on the streets, passing out gospel tracts and talking to strangers?
You know, I would like to sometime, but I homeschool the kids, and I just don't get out as much as I'd like to anymore. I mean, if they could come here and I could share with them here, but let's just say I know it's something that I should be doing.
Well, do you think that you'd like to take your kids out with you, or?
Witnesses!
Wait, maybe we should go
Honey,
out.
did you hear the doorbell?
Yeah, I heard it. I was just wondering if maybe I should go out and talk to him or something.
But then they'll know we're home.
Listen, Madeline, I think we need to try avoiding hiding from these people.
Mom, can I have a sandwich?
Oh, yeah, sure, baby.
Honey, somebody needs to go out there and share the gospel with them. Somebody.
Roman, they know their version of the Bible backwards and forwards. You'll just get into some pointless argument with them.
Well, us hiding on the floor isn't doing them any good.
Hello?
Okay.
Daddy, can we get up now?
I'm just...
You, it's the office.
The office? Hello? Yes, it is. Who? What happened? No, I'll be right there.
Roman, what happened?
Something happened at the office. There's been an accident or something.
What happened?
Not in front of the kids. I'll call you after a while, all right?
Oh, hi, sir. I was gonna add. Okay.
Hey, Dad, could Mom get up and get me a soda?
Hey, ma'am. Would you like to learn how to get to paradise?
Coroner's only letting us have a minute, Roman.
Why was she working so late?
She always worked late.
It was a stroke. I think it was quick.
Had she been ill?
I didn't think so. Then I remembered how she was talking, how she'd been having all these headaches lately, and how we were the cause of them.
How are you guys doing?
I don't know. It's hard. You know, she was a good friend.
Our producer said you wanted to see some of her interview footage. Was there something in particular you were looking for?
It's just I knew she had heard George and I that afternoon, and I just kind of wanted to see what she said. And I thought that she would see us involved in church, and it would look like fun, and she would ask to join us, but she never did.
You're quiet over there, George. How are you doing?
Just thinking about a lot of things.
Like what?
You want to know what I'm thinking? Thinking I'm not saved. I'm not a Christian.
All throughout the annals of history, people have always informed us when we've broken the rules. I mean, think about it for a moment. We have police officers who will pull us over, referees will blow their whistles, teachers will expel us, judges will condemn us. Well, whether we agree or not is irrelevant. I mean, there are some rules that are meant to be broken, granted, but there's other rules that are unbendable. There are some rules that are so important that they're actual laws. And in California, we have new laws that take effect, well, almost every year. And if you don't like the laws in California, you simply move over to Texas. And if you don't like the laws in the United States, then you move out of the country. But there's certain laws that are universal, they're immaterial, they're abstract. You can't just violate these laws. These laws will affect you whether you accept them or whether you reject them. Now, if you said 2 + 2 is 5, you would be wrong. Why? Because you are wrong. 2 + 2 is 4. Well, how about the laws of science, the laws of logic, and the laws of mathematics? You look at these laws and they will not budge. Let's look at a different law. We have the law of moral absolutes. You can't just say, hey, I believe that rape is acceptable to me. No. Intrinsically, we all know that rape is wrong. It's wrong for all people, in all cultures, in every place. And the reason that is because we all have a conscience. God has given light to each and every one of us where we intrinsically know that rape is wrong. Well, God has a standard that doesn't just stop at rape. It is a standard of perfection. It represents a perfect God because God is holy. God is perfect. Well, how about you? Do you think you've obeyed God's moral laws? Well, you say, well, I've never murdered anyone. Okay, granted. But Jesus said, if you've ever had unjust hatred or anger in your heart towards your brother, well, then you are a murderer. Ever looked with lust? Then you're an adulterer. How about, have you always told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God? If not, you've borne false witness and you're a liar. Ever taken something that belonged to somebody else? Well, then you're a thief. Oh, come on, I'm not a thief. I've just taken one thing. Listen, if I reach into your wallet and I take $1 or $100 out, it doesn't matter. I'm a thief. I took that which didn't belong to myself. How about this? Ever strongly desired something that belonged to somebody else? That's the 10th commandment. You shall not covet. That's breaking God's law. That's called sin. You've missed the mark of being perfect, and God must punish sin. Let me make it more pointed. You know, the Bible talks about God as being holy and being perfect. His nature is different from the nature of us. If I were to light a match and I take that fire and I put it next to a dried out leaf, what's going to happen? The fire is going to consume the leaf. Why? Because the fire hates the leaf? No, but because the nature of the fire is different from the nature of the leaf, and the fire must consume the leaf. Well, the Bible describes God as a consuming fire, and anything less than his